Hari Om. So, amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha. So, Bhagavan reveals here some 20 values, and these 20 values are indicated as jnanam, as knowledge, because if we cultivate them, it will help us to gain that supreme knowledge, that state of enlightenment. So humility, absence of hypocrisy, non-violence, vairagya. Vairagya is another one of the most important value. Then asaktihi, absence of attachment and absence of identification with son and wife and house, etc. And keeping the mind balanced under all condition. Maicha ananya yogena bhaktiravya vicharini. Also Bhagavan says to develop a single pointed bhakti, devotion for me, avyavicharini, free from all distraction, free from all other notion in our head, a single pointed devotion for that supreme reality. And vivikta desha sevitvam, and resorting to a solitary place, enjoying or practicing to live in a solitary place. It helps us to quieten our mind, because lot of unnecessary material enter our system when we live with too many people, different types of people. Whether we like it or don't like it, all the thoughts and emotions of everyone keep on getting mixed up. It's like the air. So you cannot have a separate air of yourself. That will get mixed up with all the surrounding air. Similarly, my thoughts, my emotions, my ideas will get mixed up with other person's thoughts, emotion, ideas, and there will be big khichdi of all this, more confusion. The more we interact with people who are confused, more confusion comes in our system also. The more we interact with people who have strange emotions and strange expression, our emotions also start becoming strange. So it is always beneficial for a sincere seeker to stay alone as much as possible. Vivikta desha sevitvam. Even Sri Aurobindo, he stayed in one small room for 40 years. He used to be there in that room only. Once a year he used to come out and give darshan. Otherwise he will be totally alone. And this aloneness, when we are wise and we are satisfied with ourselves and we know our path and know our goal, and we have the other values which are described here, this aloneness will be great joy. It is different from loneliness. Loneliness is great sorrow, but aloneness is great joy. So vivikta desha sevitvam and aratir jana samsadi, and dislike or not interested to be in the company of, again the same similar thing, company of people. Aratihi means no reveling or no rejoicing, non-rejoicing in the company of people. People here doesn't mean all people. There are some who are wise and tranquil. Their company is beneficial. But otherwise, all those who are unwise and distracted and and disturbed, their company is not good for the seeker, because wrong thing entering our system, to clean it takes lot of time. It's like a virus. Once it enters our system, to remove it takes lot of time and effort. So it is better to avoid bad company. It's better to be alone than in bad company. So aratir jana samsadi. Then more values. The next verse number 11. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etad jnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha adhyatma jnana nityatvam. Adhyatma jnana. Adhyatma jnana, jnana about the self, knowledge regarding the self. To be nityatvam, to abide or to constantly revel in the knowledge about the self, which we have to acquire through study of the scriptures from our teacher. That is called Adhyatma. Adhyatma means regarding Atma. See, there are a lot of knowledge in the world, but our great rishis, they divided the knowledge into two main groups: the knowledge about the world and knowledge about the self, the one who is experiencing the world. Knowledge about the world, there is no end to it. One can go on learning and there is no end. Even one aspect of the world one can take and do a lot of research and get degrees also. Any one aspect. Some people, they study mosquitoes in detail and they get special PhD on that. Mosquitoes themselves might not know so much about themselves. So about the world, the knowledge is vast, no end to it. No end to information, no end to general knowledge, no end to what is happening in the world. Therefore we have so many these news channels, so many of them. Sometimes same news they show on all the channels, sometimes variety of them, sometimes same news in different shades and all color. So there is no end to it. But self is one only. And to understand it, understand yourself with the help of the scriptures. Because just sitting quietly, we might not understand ourselves completely. We might take ourselves to be the outer structure. So with the help of the scriptures, when we study our own self and abide in that knowledge, constantly listen to it, constantly think about it, and meditate on it, that is called Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam. That is also a sadhana which a sincere spiritual seeker should constantly practice. Then Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. Tattva Jnan, Adhyatma Jnan and Tattva Jnan, same. The Tattva, the essence, the ultimate reality, the knowledge of that ultimate reality. And after gaining that knowledge, what is the result of that knowledge? The result of that knowledge is moksha. The result of self-knowledge is freedom from all bondage. To constantly think about this moksha, to contemplate and understand this moksha is called Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. See, we should not only be aware of our path, but we should also know about our goal. The more and more we become clear about the goal, the more we will get we will get inspired to perform our sadhana. People are not interested so much in performing or in spiritual practice because that goal is not very clear. Other worldly goals are very clear. कहीं पर घूमने जाना है, if you want to go sightseeing or to eat or to achieve something or some status in the world, it becomes very clear to comprehend. But this moksha and all is not very clear. What is this moksha? I don't know what is moksha. You will become sthita prajna. What is this sthita prajna and all? I don't want to become sthita prajna. So if we don't want the goal which is indicated here, we will not be interested to follow the path which is taking us there. And if we don't follow the path, then we will be where we are, samsara, with all our sorrows, pain, trouble. We want to be in samsara, but we want to make it more comfortable and nice for us. We don't want to be out of it. It's like a person is in jail. He wants his life in the jail to be more comfortable, but doesn't want to come out of that jail. That is what majority of people, they are like that. But rare few, Bhagavan says, out of millions and millions of people, rare few follow this path. And out of those rare few, very, very rare few attain the ultimate goal. Because to even appreciate it takes its own time. See, something new, something totally out of the world. It is not something which is common. So to appreciate it requires special effort. And when once one appreciates, one gets inspired to do it. Like even in the field of science, they do so much of research and all. Like first time when they went on the moon, even to think of going on the moon itself was a big thing, big idea. And then the whole thinking started how we can go there and what type of vehicle will take us there and all. And finally, we reached there. Human being landed on the moon. Similarly, if we are aware and if we can appreciate the final destination shown by the scriptures, we will be inspired to strive on this path. Otherwise, we will use spirituality only for our worldly gain, to check our diabetes or to check our blood pressure. If I read Bhagavad Gita, my blood pressure curve becomes normal. Bhagavad Gita is not meant for blood pressure, making it normal and all, but for gaining that state of enlightenment. So tattva jnanartha darshanam means constantly thinking and visualizing and meditating on the goal indicated by the scriptures, by gaining the knowledge of the tattva jnana artha. The artha, the result gained through tattva jnana, we should see it, we should contemplate on it. So tattva jnanartha darshanam. Etad, these are the 20 values. Etad jnanam iti proktam. And all these 20 values are called jnanam. They themselves are not knowledge, but they help us to gain that knowledge. Once one develops all these values, all these qualities, then it helps us to gain that knowledge. It's like preparing to sleep. Preparing to sleep is not sleep. But when we prepare the bed and when we lie down and when we are totally free of our worries and all, not constantly thinking here and there, then that is the preparation. That helps us to go to sleep. Similarly, all this is preparation which help us to gain the state of enlightenment. Therefore, they are called knowledge. So, etad jnanam iti proktam. And ajnanam yadataha Yad ataha anyatha. And Bhagavan says, opposite of this is ajnanam. Absence of this is ajnanam. Absence of all these values is called ajnana, is called ignorance. For example, we have the value amanitvam, humility, but pride is ignorance. Manitvam becomes ignorance and amanitvam is knowledge. Dambha becomes ignorance and adambhitvam is knowledge. Similarly, himsa, violence is ignorance, but non-violence is knowledge. So in this way, the 20 knowledge and 20 ignorance is mentioned here. And these values are there within us. They have to be harnessed, they have to be invoked, they have to be revealed. We have to bring it out from within. It is there in everyone. Potentially, it is there in our mind, in our intellect. The capacity to attain this is there already. We have to just remove all the obstacles through our sadhana and let it come out in full glory. So, etad jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. Our Pujya Gurudev is to call this, as I had mentioned that day also, 20-point program for the seekers. So, many people keep asking what sadhana I should do. And people have a funny idea about sadhana. And they will ask worldly things only about sadhana. When I should get up, what type of dress I should wear, what type of bindi I should apply on my head, what type of mala I should wear, and how I should sit, where my eyes should be when I am sitting, and all sorts of things. Whichever way you sit doesn't matter, but the ultimate result should be amanitvam. If you can develop humility, it doesn't matter even if you do Sirsasana. If Sirsasana can help you to develop humility, please do it. But if it doesn't help, then it is useless. So, through whatever means, we have to gain these results of amanitvam, adambhitvam. So, when we have this knowledge, our mind, intellect becomes ready to appreciate and recognize our own self. The equipment becomes ready, and when the equipment is ready, in the sense it is not creating any hindrance, it is not creating any obstacle, we come to realize ourselves. See, when there is a lot of distraction, suppose you have to contemplate, and a lot of distraction is there. A lot of some music or some noise is going on, you cannot think. Then suddenly the noise stops, everything is so silent that you can think. So the noise is not helping you, or noise is directly not revealing your understanding, but it is helping you to focus your attention on your own thinking. Similarly, when we develop these values, it removes all obstacles. It reduces all noise.